So watch your words, for they become your character. Or watch your words, for they become your actions. Watch your actions, for they become your habits. Watch your habits, for they become your character. Watch your character, for it becomes your destiny. Hello, we are Team 1, and we are going to be talking about Dean Smith's Chapter 9, what it is to have the characteristics of a leader. My name is Mark. This is Michael, Arthur, Natasha, and Lydia. Our presentation order, these are the elements that Dean Smith discusses in his characteristics of a great leader. Humility, hard work, honesty and integrity, personal appearance and conduct, submitting to authority, equality, compassion, convictions, and recruiting character.
So one of the great characteristics that make a leader is humility. The definition of humility is modest or low view of one's own importance. You're almost submissive to others' needs. And one of the ways that Dean Smith did that was by sharing recognition and power. He always acknowledged others for his success and always put his team up front and never accepted any credit for any of his success or any of his accomplishments. He always said that he wanted his players to be in the public's eye and always had them do press conferences. And when asked what 879 wins meant to him, he just simply said that he was old. So he showed it through many ways, but it wasn't just by saying that he was humble, he actually did practice it. He also never accepted awards. He was given the Arthur Ashe Award for promoting social equality, and he refused to take it. Arthur Ashe's wife had to actually call and beg him to take the award. And another way how he showed he was humble was that he never kept memorabilia in his house, so you would never guess if you didn't know who he was that he had won all these. And so that was one of his great characteristics. And another thing was he was always a hard worker. He had great work ethics. Will Rogers once said that even if you're on the right track, you'll soon get run over if you just sit there. And Dean Smith, Coach Smith never just sat there and accepted his wins and said, my work here is done. He always continued, always watched games and tried to figure out new strategies and always improved his team and taught his team great lessons to be the great leaders they are today.
So the next one is integrity and honesty. And Coach Smith really lived by showing his integrity and being honest. His personal character just did not allow him to cheat, and he did not do that. A principle that it talks about in this section is to pay less attention to what others say, but what they do. And Coach Smith's actions really followed what he did say. A lot of people wondered how a contemporary coach could win so much and not be cheating. And this was because Coach Smith had a commitment to run a clean program, and he really followed through with this. The next one is personal appearance and conduct. Coach Smith talked about how important it is for one to carry their outward appearance. It communicated what the team thought about themselves. Next was their words reflecting their character. He had a no cursing rule. He wouldn't allow any of his players to use this kind of language. Cursing represented a poverty vocabulary, and he didn't want any of them to be using that kind of language. He also insisted on being punctual. Being tardy to him was stealing in the sense that you're stealing someone else's time.
So really similar to what we learned in the Lincoln chapters, respect for authority comes in to play from both leaders and followers. We talk about leadership in here a lot, but we don't really talk about good followership. And what Dean Smith preached was you got to be a good leader and a good follower. And by being able to come under someone else's authority is really important. I threw up a picture of the Lance Armstrong and the USA biking team here because Lance Armstrong is the leader of the team, but he couldn't do it without his team. And these guys fall into line and they respect their authority really well. So I thought it was a good example of what it means to be a good follower. He also, one thing he did, once leadership had made a decision, even if he disagreed with the decision, he always supported the decision in public. He never badmouthed authority, and that's really an admirable quality that Dean Smith had.
Something else he shared in common with Lincoln was he believed equality was for everyone. He believed everyone on his team was equal. It didn't matter if you're the superstar, the best player, or a bench player. Like, everyone relied on everyone for the success of the team. He also believed in racial equality and fought for it. He supported all of his players, even long after they're gone, with any racial issues through phone calls, letters, and really stood for what he believed was right. 1959, he took a black student to a whites-only restaurant, which really triggered the first step towards serious integration in Chapel Hill. When asked about it, Coach Smith simply said it was the right thing to do. He went on to recruit Carolina's first black athlete in 1966. The commitment to equality went beyond race. Everyone on the team was treated equally and fairly, from the coaches to the players. He also believed in compassion for all. Coach Smith really cared for everyone in this world. His generosity extended far beyond just a simple gift. Not only did he donate a lot of his own personal time and money, he found it was important that all of his players took care of the needy families in the community as a team. He constantly questions the first-class flights the team took, the five-star hotels they stayed in, and the big steak dinners to see if it was actually sending the students the right message of compassion and generosity for everyone. He believed his salary was too high, so he started his own personal fund from his own salary to help students finish their degrees. And he also once donated over half of a $300,000 salary from Nike to his supporting staff and his assistants, just to show his compassion for them, to thank them. He also, aside from the Nike endorsement, which was, he made sure it covered the whole school, the whole athletic department, not just the basketball team. He refused brand recognition from anyone else. He saw himself as a teacher, just like any other teacher in the school, and he didn't believe that he should get paid any more than any other teacher there. He wanted what was right for everyone. He cared about everyone and made sure his students realized the value of integrity over money.
All right, next, Dean Smith believed in conviction above convenience. Now, everyone knows what convenience is, but conviction is strong belief, something that you can really stand behind. So Dean Smith believed strongly that the freshman players, they shouldn't start out on the varsity team. Whenever they come in, they're students first. So they're going to concentrate their first year on studying. They're going to acclimate to the school. Well, in 1972, there was a rule change that now the students would be able to go to varsity in their first year of playing. Now, Dean Smith still backed up the old rules, saying that freshmen should have a chance to acclimate and they should really concentrate on their studies. He really stood behind that. For him, it would be easier for freshmen to come in as in the varsity team, because he's in charge of recruiting players, and players, they want to be on the varsity in the first year, so they might go to another team. So again, next slide. Next, he believed in recruiting for character. He sought students and staff with the highest character. He looked for staff that were going to help his team. Someone with good character is going to help the production. They're going to help the team overall, bring everyone together so we all be on the same page. Now, he sought student athletes. When he went recruiting, he oftentimes went to their parents. He wanted to see how the student interacted with his parents. He also went to their games and saw how the student interacted with other teammates, with the officials, and with the coaches. So again, in believing that that person with good character, a team full of them, can lead toward a positive work environment.
Thank you very much.